Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. And man, it's been a rough, 5 or 6 months since the COVID-19 pandemic hit our country and the world. And of course, that has affected the job market and the economy in ways that we could never even imagine. But there is hope because there are other opportunities always emerging on the horizon. And here to talk about those opportunities, specifically in the insurance industry, are Chris Lowery, and you are Senior Vice President for Workforce and Careers at Ivy Tech Community College. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
And then we also have Emil, Ekiyor, who is founder and CEO of INNOPOWER Indy. Welcome back, Emil.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for having me.
He's becoming a regular on this show, by the way. And then we have Duncan. She's marketing representative for Arlington, and she'll be here to talk about the insurance industry as well. Welcome to you all to Inside Indy. Man, as I mentioned at the opening, it's kind of rough out there right now, and there are people, especially our young people, but beyond that, looking for new opportunities. And you're saying then that there is hope in the insurance industry. Who'd like to go first to respond to that?
I can take that, Kelly. The industry, there's a grain of the industry, and I'm a great representative of that. See, that there's a lot of baby boomers, and over 70% of the industry is over the age of 55. So we project that 50% turnover probably in the next 10 years. So there's lots of opportunities, but we don't have as many young people coming into the industry as what we need to fill these jobs. And the insurance industry is a big industry in the state of Indiana as well as nationwide. And there are lots of opportunities, and it touches all industries. We're oftentimes the second call after there's any kind of emergency situation. So there's certainly some opportunities in insurance in the state.
Okay. And so in order to be able to work in the industry, obviously we need to be educated. And so I understand that Ivy Tech Community College, Chris, has an opportunity to earn a certificate?
Yes, Kelly, that's correct. We have been working with Anne and her colleagues from the insurance industry for quite a while to really frame that up. And our approach at the college, especially in the past few years, has been to talk with people who are in, various business sectors and to say, so what are your needs? Rather than us just guessing, I wouldn't be the person you would want to guess about what the insurance industry needs. Anne is, because of her expertise and her tenure there. So what we've done is collaborate with, as I said, Anne and her colleagues from the insurance industry to say, so what exactly are the specific skills that you're seeking, to fill these really good positions, and they've helped us outline those. And that has resulted in a 9-hour certificate. And certainly we can talk more about that because the certificate allows an individual to enter the insurance industry, again, a great industry, but also with potential for growth. While in a position or with one of those employers, but also in their own academic career. So if you think about paralleling that growth in career along with growth from the academic standpoint and continuing to, I guess the way I think of it is move from sort of that ladder of a job to a better job to a career. I think this is a perfect example of that.
Okay. So in that, you said it's 9 months, right?
9 credit hours.
9 credit hours. So how long does it take to complete that particular course?
Someone could easily do that in a 1-semester period. And honestly, even with our new 8-week terms, someone could, and you jump in here and tell me if I'm wrong on this, complete that within an 8-week period. Now that's probably a lot, and for some individuals in just that short time frame, but certainly within a traditional 16-week semester.
Okay. And did you want to add to that?
Yeah, the original certificate that we kicked off in 2017 was 21 credit hours, Kelly. And over the summer, we collaborated with Ball State University, Indiana State University, and Butler University, who all have 4-year degree programs, to help rewrite that curriculum. And it's now reduced down to 9 hours. So it's something that can be finished within a semester. And then the individual probably be able to go out to an entry-level position. They could continue their education at Ivy Tech to get a 2-year degree. And then if they choose, they could go on to one of our 3 other insurance schools in Indiana and get a 4-year degree.
Okay. Now, I know about insurance in terms of buying life insurance or something for my car, but for a person who's interested in that career, what are the opportunities? Is it about being an agent, or are there various opportunities within the industry?
There are a lot of opportunities, Kelly, and I think there's a misconception about the industry that it's all about sales. A lot of people think you got to knock on doors or be a salesperson, but there are job opportunities at insurance agencies, at carriers. So a customer service representative. Then, of course, we've talked about insurance sales. There are claims opportunity. There are actuarials. We need IT folks. We need folks with accounting. It touches all industries. When you think about even at Ivy Tech, I think there's an automotive certificate. That person, if they also got the insurance certificate, could go on into becoming a claims person, adjusting auto claims. There's a lot of talk about coding. There's a lot of talk about cyber liability. We sell data breach policies. So it touches lots of industries.
Okay. This is for Emil. Why is it important for students to engage in the industry, to develop those credentials and partnership with the industry members, and how does it help the state economy?
Thank you, Kelly. As you know, for decades, the traditional way was industry waited for the talent to graduate from college, and then you get to pick the best of the best to come into your industry. Well, today we know that model doesn't really work efficiently anymore. Industry has to have skin in the game in the development process, and that starts in high school, and in some cases even before high school. Today, what we've witnessed with COVID and what we know is the number one word used in minority communities especially is access. Sometimes people are not aware of the opportunities that are available for them out there. As you hear, the key word that's been used with Ann and Chris has been opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. The program gets designed, the insurance industry and Ivy Tech, and they've designed a magnificent program. But now how do we articulate that program to the community so people see this as a pathway to upper mobility? And so what we do is say to young people is there's opportunity available for you, and here's a pathway to get that opportunity, and here are your options. Your options are you can take this course at Ivy Tech, get exposed to the industry with job shadows, speaker series where professionals from the industry are coming in to engage these young people, to make them familiar about the industry. Then if you graduate with this certificate, 9 hours sounds simple to a young 17-year-old. It's doable. I can take this 9 hours and I could actually get a certificate and make $17 an hour when I graduate from high school. That gives them a vision for what's next. What we miss a lot of times with young people is not understanding what comes next. If I don't go to college, have I failed? What the insurance industry is saying, what Ivy Tech is saying is, no, you haven't. Ivy Tech has a pathway for you that you could begin in high school. So what we do is come along with Ivy Tech and the insurance industry and say, how do we eliminate the barriers for these young people if they have to pay for this course at Ivy Tech? How do we work with the schools to make sure they have access and can take these courses? So together, we work to design this program to say, how do we reach the customer and make sure the customer can maximize this program? So we're excited about the opportunity and the trilateral partnership here to do this. But we also feel like this is such a model for other industries to follow, that we can codify this and take this to other industries to say, when we talk about equity, when we talk about creating opportunities for young people, when we talk about staying in a city that we say ranks in the bottom fifth for upward mobility, but yet we have all of these opportunities available, something is missing. There's a gap somewhere. So, just excited to be working with the insurance industry and Chris to just connect the dots and eliminate those gaps. And this is such a powerful model for us to codify and share with others on how industry can have skin in the game in the development process and then how we can maximize programs like this and share these outcomes as we go.
Okay, wow. And you're right about kids. If you just kind of leave them hanging there, they don't know what to do. Get them started in something, get them engaged, and that gets the wheels turning. And then you don't know what's next. That develops into owning your own business one day. I mean, but they have to be involved, engaged. And again, if the goal is too far out there, like how do you even get started? So I think you're right on point in that. So we talked about young people, but what about adults for this certificate and getting involved in this way? Is it for anybody?
So there's a lot of programs now for the adult learners at Ivy Tech, and there are people out there looking for a career change that have been displaced from their existing jobs. So this is a great time for the adult learners as well, Kelly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how people, go ahead. Was somebody going to add to that?
Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. Yeah, I was just going to add on to that really quickly. And Ann, thank you so much. So whether it's this certificate in insurance, or whether it's something in advanced manufacturing or logistics, or more broadly in business, healthcare, IT, there are a number of programs, including shorter term, such as these, that can be completed pretty quickly, that are available. And we're seeing a tremendous response in our partnership with business and industry, as represented by Ann, with individuals reaching younger students, adult students, like in the instance of our partnership with Emil, but then also in our partnership with state government. We're literally right now reaching out to individuals in Indiana who are unemployed and underemployed, with partnership with the state, to make these programs more readily aware, to make sure folks are more readily aware of them, and helping point people in the direction of good and promising jobs that can result from these types of credentials.
Okay, sounds good to me. So if people want to take advantage of this, to sign up or to learn more about the insurance industry certificate, how do they sign up?
Well, Ivy Tech has all the resources on their platforms, and has all the capacity to engage people, to walk them through the process of signing up and all the opportunities they have through the business administration program and getting an insurance certificate. But what we want people in our community to understand, that Ivy Tech is a huge resource for us. Like you said, people have been furloughed, people are looking for other opportunities. But when I talk to people that are in those situations, they don't see Ivy Tech as that resource to get them back into the workforce, and get them upskilled to go back into the workforce. So what I would say to people is, if you go to Ivy Tech's website, all of these opportunities are listed there. And as we develop this program, we'll have a way for people to directly associate with the insurance industry to get more information. But we really want people to see Ivy Tech as this resource, to be able to go on the Ivy Tech platforms to find out about, how do I get into insurance? What Ann has done a wonderful job of is putting this resource on the forefront of Ivy Tech's platform, so people can have access to it. Okay,
as we got the website on the screen there for you, and I really enjoyed this conversation. I've been enlightened about the insurance industry, and so we're putting the word out there to get people on board and help rebuild this economy. Chris Lowery, Emil, Ekiyor, and Duncan, thank you all so much for joining us on Inside Indy.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Kelly.
you.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
If you or a parent or a grandparent has a house that they are looking to sell, please consider selling it to Habitat for Missions. We'll provide a cash offer, no responsibility to fix the place up before it can be sold. Leave all of that to us and put our volunteers to work there, fix it up, renovate it, restore it, and sell it with the idea of donating 90% of the profit to Christian mission.
I sold my house to Habitat for Missions.
We sold our house to Habitat for Missions.
Just remember, 90% of the house sale profit goes to Christian ministries. Sell your house to Habitat for Missions and help us change our world.
And we're back here on Inside Indy, and we're going to talk about healing, healing from addictions. And here in the studio to tell us about that and more are Lavonne Savage,
yes,
and you are the executive director of Grace House Adult and Teen Challenge.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Laura Leyden, you are a volunteer staff with Grace House Adult and Teen Challenge as well.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. And then Bernie Hadad, volunteer teacher and administrator.
That's correct.
All right. And is it doctor? Did I hear you say that?
I'm a pastor.
Pastor.
Pastor
Okay.
Bernie.
Okay. See, I was giving you a doctorate. You should have just taken it.
From your lips to God's ears.
Welcome to Inside Indy. When I think about addiction, I think about, of course, the opioid epidemic that we have. So when you speak of the healing for women, is that what you mean, or does it go beyond drugs?
It goes beyond the drugs, because drugs was just something to cover up the pain. It takes the healing part of going deep down inside and letting God come in and begin to do some things in their heart, in their soul, in their spirit. And so the ladies come in there, they come in broken and hurt, of course, disappointed, rejected. Some of them have been molested, trafficked, and out of prisons and jails. And they come in there and they have this wall up because they have been hurt so much. So to convince them that God still loves them, and to be able to walk in that love with so many women that come in through the doors of Grace House Adult and Teen Challenge is nothing but a miracle from God. We get a chance to see miracles every day happening in these women's lives. Laura Leyden is one of them who did not believe in Christ at all when she came through. I was there. And God did something in her life. She hated the worship music. She hated being there.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your journey, Laura.
My journey was just, I grew up in what you would call normal, and I took the partying too far, where it became, I would say, sinful, but more so took over my life. And so when I came to Teen Challenge, to Grace House, I didn't really care where I was as long as I could get some help, and I really resisted Christianity, and God did what only God could do. And yeah, I love the Lord. To worship is my favorite thing, favorite part of my day. So I mean, we experience the addiction leaves, but truly a new person comes. And I think that's the message we're trying to get out on the streets, is that it's not just, goodbye to the addiction, but somebody new can rise up and be all that God has called them to be, not just who they used to be. So
Wow. Okay. Pastor Hadad, you're nodding your head. You sounded like you wanted to interject there.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we're looking for. When, like Lavonne said, when the girls come in, they're broken. They don't realize their worth. That's been stripped from them by people who have fed them lies about themselves. So they don't realize that they are still loved, that they're still just as worthy as they were before they were even born, when God knew them then. And so what we do is we try to get them back to understanding the basics of the foundation. You were created in God's image. God, when he made you, he said it was very good. He says you're beautiful. He says you're loved, you're redeemed, you're forgiven. And as long as they can forgive themselves, and then they can start fresh with that new person, then we have an opportunity for the growth and for God to come in there and take the part of the heart that's missing. Like Lavonne said, the addiction leaves a hole. Well, that hole is shaped just like Jesus. And so when the addiction goes away, that's when we bring Jesus right on in there. And he just takes control, and they can submit, and it's just a beautiful thing, a beautiful thing.
Awesome. So let me ask you this, Lavonne, then. So, because this is a little non-traditional in terms of the approach of treating addiction. No, as opposed to, we think of, we're going to go to Fairbanks, so we're going to have the doctor solve the problem.
Yes, this is very different. And Teen Challenge has been around for over 62 years, along with, we have over 1,200 centers throughout the world.
Wow.
But one of the things that make the success of Teen Challenge is because of Jesus. And that is the foundation of Teen Challenge. That was how I got started in 1958 by Dave Wilkerson. And that foundation of that is what brings the healing, to bring in our program, not just Grace House, but Teen Challenge as a whole, of 78% cure rate. And that is the highest in the world. And so this approach is very strict. They have a schedule that they have to be on. They have to be up in the morning. Their beds have to be made. They probably feel like they're in the military.
Okay. But you're creating structure?
We're creating structure,
boundaries, that kind of thing?
They learn time management. They learn how to flex with their time.
I need that.
I do too. And I'm
obviously today.
I am a former graduate of Teen Challenge of 23 years ago, and the Lord used a pimp and drug dealer to bring me into the doors of Teen Challenge. And that was nothing but a miracle, and I hated being there. I had plans on leaving, but he had it was a 4.5, 5-hour drive, and I thought he was going to kill me, because when 10 minutes away from where we were going, it was all the way back in the woods, the house. So when you go out there, you are not going to run. If you want to live, you know where to run. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we are, as a team and as a whole, we're blessed. We're blessed to be able to pour back into those women from our hurt and our pain.
So, can I ask Laura, when you got there, what was the first thing that happened to you in terms of?
Oh my gosh. Well,
other than her staying in my office asking me to have them turn down the worship music.
I mean,
she's a hot mess, huh?
Well, I didn't know. I just didn't know. I mean, I didn't understand, what they were trying to do. I just thought, we're doing this all day. Why do you have to turn Jesus on at night? Let's turn him off. And they said no, and I got saved. So.
Amen.
It was a culture shock. I mean, for me, and I'm sure a lot of other ladies had never heard people pray like that. I'd never really heard people pray loud and for something, and that was powerful. But it was also scary to somebody that didn't know. And so I think, you see a lot of stuff, and it's just, trust that God can handle it all, and he did.
So we've got just about 2 minutes left. So I wanted to ask somebody who's watching and they're hurting. And let's talk again about the hurts and who you're looking for to help, who would benefit from what you have to offer. Pastor Hadad, if you could talk to the cameras and let people know, somebody out there who's hurting, they need help, they need healing.
If you are in need and you're struggling with addiction and you're feeling lost and you need healing, this is the place for you. There's a bed. There's people who will love you. There's structure, but it's not legalism and it's not scary. It's love. And we would love to have you and take care of you and help you find your way home.
All right. Beautifully said. Well, we appreciate you coming in. Will you come back? Because we were actually going to go a full show. We'll have you back in because I want more details on the stories and your journeys. Just really, really fascinating and just
Absolutely.
Absolutely beautiful. Lavonne Savage, Laura Leyden, and Bernie Hadad, Pastor Hadad, thanks so much for joining us.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
All right, amen. And thank you for joining us. I'm Kelly Vaughn. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
I have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day,
one man's dream of racial equity and harmony, unity, seeing people as people, created in the image of God, is central to the Christian message. Acts records, from one man he made every nation of men. God did this so men would seek him. Celebrate the creation, celebrate the vision, and celebrate each other as God celebrates you.
with this faith, I will go out with you and transform dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows. With this faith, we will be able to achieve this new day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing with the Negroes in the spiritual of all, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Bye, Janet. It's nice seeing you again. You a good girl. Just let me know what I can do to help.
Well, to help me, she'd have to help every day. Every hour, every ouch, every time my wife calls for help. I mean, maybe she could help me make her lunch. But the crust, all the crust has to be cut off the corners. She could help me run to the doctor for the 5th time this week. Help me with the specialist and the second opinions and the painful paperwork about paperwork. Help me deal with how hard it is seeing my wife's name on so much paperwork. But this is on me. I'm the only one who can do this, like this, for her. Besides,
take care.
We will. Janet doesn't like her cooking anyway.
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.